Oh, Steve and Larson! Don't you dare be sour. Clap for yourselves and feel the power. Yes. And all you people out there, you're watching Going In Raw with Steve and Larson.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. Available wherever podcasts can be found, and of course, taped live at the Twitch, twitch.tv/Steve and Larson. Our Dark Side of the Ring Plane Ride from Hell is going to be, review is going to be dropping tomorrow on our YouTube channel, of course, where podcasts can be found. We have some news and notes about the fallout of that episode, the very real world consequences over on our at the head of our Rampage review, our AEW Rampage review. So that should be up and available either by now or a little bit after this review goes live. Usually we try to get them up around the same time or one after the other. So check that out. Tomorrow we'll be watching Impact's Victory Road in a chill stream, watch along. So come hang out if you're going to watch Impact, or if you're not. Either way, we'll be hanging out, talking to chat, doing our predictions live during the show.
Correct.
So that should be a lot of fun as well. So yeah. Oh, you know what I want to do? I need to shout out some new patrons. Man, we got some new patrons.
Great idea.
Listen, if you like Going In Raw, if you're in the audio realm, if you like Going In Raw, but you're not into the ads that we have on the show, that's totally cool. I get it. You know, some things you want ad free. There's a way you can get this show ad free in the audio realm. Go to goinginraw.supercast.tech for $3 a month. You can get this show ad free. If you want our bonus episodes as well, numbers don't lie. This week, we applied the Going In Raw math formula to Lita. I thought it was a really fun episode. And then earlier, we had our Quizzlemania prep that we did. So those are available in the audio realm. And that's $5 a month for ad-free plus bonus episodes at patreon.com/Steve and Larson. Want to give a quick shout out here to the new patrons that we got here at the channel. Shout out to John Mackey, Gustavo de Menezes. Apologies for butchering your name. Cold Snacks and Caleb. Thank you very much for your support. We appreciate it. Smackdown tonight was kind of an oddball show.
Got that right.
So let's talk about this real quick. So coming up, it was announced on Raw that we've got the New Day versus the Bloodline. That's a big match. It's like a Survivor Series level match. A lot of people have been asking for that match.
Yeah, that's one of the two options that we had in mind potentially for Survivor Series involving the WWE and the Universal title, whether it's just Big E versus Roman one-on-one, or if you do the 6-man tag, you can have everybody involved, and then you could have New Day picking up the win without Roman necessarily eating a pin. And so to try to make heads or tails of how SmackDown was structured, it all has to be through the prism of one or two things. One, the brand split as kind of like a real true separation is going bye-bye, or they're starting the preparation and laying down storylines for Survivor Series, which is 2 months away.
So I kind of feel like both are kind of happening, and this is why. So Andrew Zarian from the Matt Men podcast had talked about how WWE is currently trying their darndest to please executives at Fox and USA who both evidently feel that each show is getting some amount of preferential treatment. For example, SmackDown had the big Madison Square Garden show. they have Becky, they have Brock. And so they feel like their roster is more stacked than Raw's. So in response to the Madison Square Garden show, and potentially maybe the USA folks not being too happy about, oh, wow, they got a big show. We're giving you $1 billion. Where's our big show? Not the big show, a big show. He's in AEW. Big E comes over from SmackDown, becomes WWE champion in a cash-in against Bobby Lashley. It's advertised. They're trying to fight Monday Night Football. They did what they could do. So next week on Raw, we're going to get the bloodline from SmackDown over there on Raw. So USA is going to be like, whoa, wait a second. This is like a Survivor Series level match. Or Fox is going to be like, whoa, that was a huge match. What are you going to do to top it? So there's like this weird thing where WWE has to like appease and keep on like elevating their game for each show, because each show is getting bigger and bigger, and it's making the other network pissed off that their show isn't as big. And
so what's next? Is Brock versus Roman going to happen? Not at Crown Royal, but on the SmackDown before it,
Right. Yeah. And so they do that, and then at Crown Royal they do it again or something, and then Raw is going to have to respond by saying, Brock, what did Kayla say tonight on the thing?
Rumors indicate Brock's heading to Raw in the draft.
Oh, USA's happy now because they're hearing new rumors that Brock is heading to Raw. So, dude, we're going to end up with either a soft brand split, much like we saw in the Raw SmackDown Super Shows back in 2010, 11, whatever, or 13, whatever.
Yeah, it's like 13, 14.
Yeah.
I want to say.
So we're going to see that. I don't think they're going to completely trash the brand split because they can't. Their roster is way too big. I personally think they can if you introduce factions to the equation, and I would love for them to do that.
Like, if you look at Raw's roster, you're right. If you look at SmackDown's roster, it's pretty. There's not a whole lot. There's not the depth there that is on Raw, because whenever they do the draft, they always give Raw more people because it's got the extra hour.
It's not that like they use those people for like the extra hour. No. They just use the same 5 people every week. Yeah,
and then everybody else they just have in the 24/7 seat. So, I mean, would it be possible to combine rosters and just have 2 shows and make it interesting? Yes, but what always happened in the Super Show days is that you just have like the same 15 people on both shows. And it seemed like it was harder for other people who weren't involved in those storylines to get chances on TV.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think that maybe you ask Fox and USA, okay, what if they did this? What if Survivor Series was a title unification show? I don't believe for a second this is going to happen, but maybe if they're sick and tired of having to deal with Fox and USA constantly, it's got to reach a head of some sort. It's got to get to a tipping point of some sort. Although WWE is really good at like pushing kicking problems down the line, right?
Yeah.
And dealing with them later, and then they just don't have to deal with them. So yeah, the draft is coming up very soon, but who cares about that? What if, because here's the thing, if WWE sends Brock to Raw, what's going to stop Fox from saying, wait, whoa, I thought Brock was on SmackDown, What if Survivor Series became a title unification? Number one, they only have enough tag teams for one division anyways. Enough good tag teams anyways. If they introduce factions, which they're never going to do, and I don't think anything's going to happen, any of this stuff is going to happen, but they could totally do title unification and just make it one brand and just use your people better. Introduce stories that don't need titles, like AEW does. And you unify the Universal and WWE Championship. You just call it the Unified WWE Championship again. You keep the Raw looking title because that's the best looking title. Yeah. Unify the women's title. I mean, it's not like Charlotte needs a title, really. I mean, Becky and Bianca, they're great. You got enough main event level women to have some really interesting stuff going on around that title scene anyways. Introduce a women's mid-card title.
Yeah, and also, as you mentioned, you got plenty of depth in the women's division. You can have several stories going that don't even involve the title.
The problem is they do not know how to construct stories. They don't know how to do it. It's an absolute shame, because I would love, me personally, this is just something that I would prefer to see. I know a lot of people wouldn't, but I think if you manage your personnel better, you see how many people AEW is able to fit into their programming every single week, and they have 5 hours of programming and not, well, okay, 5. They have 3 hours of programming versus 5 hours of programming.
Yeah.
I think WWE could do it. But they don't know. They don't know how to manage their people. They walk into the show day of, rip up a script, and figure stuff out. So you get like tonight's SmackDown. There was like how many recaps on tonight's SmackDown?
Tons. It felt like in a lot of ways the story that I assume they were trying to tell, either to motivate Usos or Roman showing up on Raw or some sort of bloodline New Day match at Survivor Series, or both, kind of happened in reverse.
Yeah.
Like if they had Big E showing up on SmackDown, it's like, yeah, I know I'm WWE champ, but SmackDown is my home for a number of years. I just want to say bye before I go. That's basic enough motivation.
It'd be motivated.
They literally did that for the New Day when they got drafted to Raw.
Yeah.
They showed up the next SmackDown afterwards, and they had a goodbye thing. Have Big E show up. Hey, just saying bye to everybody. Usos attack him. Mm-hmm. That gives him motivation for showing up later on when Roman has his promo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of Roman has his promo, Big E just shows up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And doesn't say a word. He just gets in the ring. Roman holds the title in his face. Finn comes out. And then we have a tag match where you're sitting here. What's motivating this tag match? We have no idea what is motivating this. I mean, like Finn being in the match makes sense against the Usos, but why is Big E there? We just don't know.
I have some speculation. Got an inside guy, my own, Wrestling Channel News. New rumor suggests Fox called Vince McMahon and said, Vince.
Here. Stop with that. I'm talking about storyline, no reason.
Yeah, I know. No, there's no reason. They didn't even try to, dude, they didn't even bother to try to explain it.
No.
They didn't. I was like, why is he here? And then you text me, and because we were texting back and forth, and you were like, they just called it a championship contenders match. And then I was like, what? And then they reiterated, they might get a shot. And Pat McAfee was even stumbling over. He's like, yeah, maybe they'll get a shot at the tag titles if they win this match. And I'm like, number one, you're instantly making Big E, your new WWE champion, look lower than a WWE champion by being in a championship contenders match for the tag team titles. That it makes him look weak by doing that.
Oh, because it's not motivated by anything. It's not.
I don't know why he's there. Why is he there? Why he's there.
And then, like the way this match was constructed too, like a good portion of this match, the Usos were dominating.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And you have Finn, who's isolated for the middle portion of the match. It's like, okay, I know he's going to be Demon Balor, whatever. Like, he just put up a pretty competitive effort against Roman a couple weeks back after getting destroyed by the Usos. And here he's getting pretty much handled by the Usos. Why should I know WWE is not treating him as a serious contender because they already scheduled a match against Roman versus Brock. I know they said, it's going to happen for the Universal Championship or not. You can't fool me, WWE. I know it's going to be for the Universal Championship. Like, when the company is already looking past Finn Balor to this other match, like, why should I be invested in it in the least?
Because of the demon. He's an attraction. Yeah, dude. This thing, it just has, given that we read the preview earlier today, it was, will Roman survive the night with Brock and the demon both coming after him? And there was nothing in there about Big E, and Demon and Finn Balor teaming up. And it just smacks. It just sounds so much like Fox called Vince and said, hey, so wait, one of our SmackDown guys is now WWE champion? Well, can you put him on the show too? Vince is like, well, he's a Raw guy now. Well, yeah, but we gave you $1 billion. Can you put him on the show? Like, I mean, that's the problem. It's like now you're just at the whims of these networks and you have to work your creative around what they want. And I honestly think, dude, it seems clear as day. And I know this sounds so naive and like why, I mean, we've known this, but it's like they don't care. Like they just don't care. I just believe at this point that it's like, well, you just get through week to week. We could give you some really cool moments.
Well, here's the thing. I don't disagree.
Stumble into success.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you that they don't care. I don't know if it's continually they don't care. Obviously, putting interesting stories out on TV on a weekly basis is not even a top 5 priority for them. It doesn't feel like.
Yeah.
So, if they have to appease their broadcast partners, if they have to pop ratings because of that, but also manage talent and who goes where and who shows up at what show and all that probably takes priority. Plus, you got to provide moments to pop ratings, whether it's motivated by story or not.
Yeah.
It's like maybe the situation they find themselves in, they can't even look at what's coming ahead and think, well, we can't plan anything because we might have to send this person here for a couple of weeks to do this and whatnot. We mentioned, I think on the Raw recap that, I use the analogy of WWE being a juggler, and they got so many balls in the air they're trying to manage, and they're barely holding it together. Well, if they need to pluck a moment out of the air, they can maybe motivate with some semblance of story that they made something they did 5 years ago or 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Then they'll pluck that out of the air and use it for the moment. But so often when they do these moments, there's no follow through, or they haven't put in the work to build to that moment. At the end, it just kind of feels like, okay, that moment happened, but it feels kind of hollow.
Yeah.
Like I look back at Nikki ASH cashing to win the title.
Yeah.
It was a cool moment. Yeah, because we love Nikki. She's great.
Yeah.
And like WWE getting by on the fans' goodwill towards their performers instead of building stories and making moments that are cool because of that absolutely huge moment, because they're a culmination of a story that makes sense and is logical.
Yeah.
They just don't do it.
Yeah, and it's the thing is, like, when you throw in an extra wrench in the situation. We're getting a lot of followers right now. Are we getting rated right now? Holy crap. Evil Uno rated us. What is up?
Wow.
Holy moly, look at that.
New Legacy rated us too.
Oh my gosh, what's up, everybody?
Thank you so much.
Wow. I heard that they were all doing charities, like these huge charity streams today. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the show. We're talking about Smackdown. Not nearly as important what you guys were doing today. Congratulations on your incredibly successful charity stream. Callie Jester says just raised over 100,000 Canadian, raised $81,000. That is awesome. So awesome. Congratulations. That is awesome. Absolutely fantastic. Oh my gosh, we've got a lot of people. We got 2,800 people here. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome to Going in Raw. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Holy moly. Y'all ready to talk about SmackDown?
Yeah, let's talk about some SmackDown. I guess we just dive right into it.
We're talking about the weirdness of Fox and USA battling over WWE superstars, and how I just think that, like, man, going for as if WWE programming wasn't weird enough. As if it wasn't weird enough, it's going to get even more weird, because now you're going to have like this soft brand split where Fox and USA are calling, hey, Vince, why isn't this guy showing up on my program? We give you $1 billion. And Vince is going to be like, okay, fine, we'll just put him over there. Why are we putting him over there? What is it? Why? Because USA, no, storyline wise. What does it matter? They're wrestlers. Just let them wrestle. You know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Crazy stuff. What is up, everybody? Oh, my goodness.
Hi, everybody. Maggie gifted a bunch of subs. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Man, crazy stuff over here on the Twitch. This is what you're missing if you're not here on the Twitch. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you. Oh, Callie Jester with the sub, too. Thank you so much.
And Captain Iron Spider. What a great name.
That is a great name.
Thank you very much. Look at this. Super Volteca shouting out 10 for the win. Remember we used to do a show called 10 for the win back in the day?
I kind of vaguely remember that, yes.
Yeah, that's a long time coming. Anyways, let's go ahead and hit the notes and talk about SmackDown. Dude, this was Roman opens SmackDown, kind of. And we're 6 minutes into the episode. Yeah. We're 6 minutes into the episode. And Roman is still walking to the ring. And we're still just chock full of recaps.
Yeah.
So he's just moseying on down. 6 minutes in. Cole says we got a Universal title match at Crown Royal, but things could change. Roman gets in the ring, says, Knoxville, acknowledge me.
Acknowledge me.
And will acknowledge, holy moly. Look, we got a crazy hype train going on right now. Oh my goodness.
Thank you
gracious.
so much, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. And so, he says, wise man, talking to Paul Heyman, says, educate these people on how to properly acknowledge me, because they didn't. They did not acknowledge the tribal chief. They were booing him, in fact. And Heyman goes on this long thing, says, he says, I've acknowledged Roman Reigns since he was but a boy. He takes no Sabbath, ducks no challengers. That's such a great line, takes no Sabbath. It means he doesn't take any breaks. Roman defends the position of being your tribal chief every moment of every day of every year of every month, et cetera, et cetera. He says, because the tribal chief fears no man, no beast, no demon, but they all fear Roman Reigns. And he sort of in summary, he says, at Madison Square Garden, I saw fear in Brock Lesnar's eyes. And then Big E comes out. It's like, oh, cool. He's going to confront the tribal chief, maybe bid him adieu. All the teasing he was giving Roman Reigns. But no, instead, Finn Balor comes out. He's like, oh, wow, we're going to have a big standoff and they're going to say their pieces. No, although Big E did have a statement of in his ring gear, or his it was a shout out to the Fugees album.
Yeah, the Fugees album, The Score. It was amazing.
It was
amazing.
Beautiful.
The back of his jacket had the New Day in the same kind of pose as the album cover. It was awesome.
Moving on. So we had the Big E and Finn Balor versus the Usos, and as you stated, Cole was like, "This is a championship contenders match." I'm like, well, why?
Not every match has to be a championship contenders match. Here's the thing: if they had motivated this match with Big E get attacked by the Usos, and he finds a partner in Finn Balor willing to fight the Usos because it benefits Finn Balor, that makes sense. It doesn't have to be a championship contender match. Then it's just Big E. Usos beat me up, want to beat them up. Finn Balor, hey, it benefits you to try to take out the Usos and advance your match against Roman Reigns for the Universal title. You want to be my partner? Sure.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take any time at all to motivate that.
You could open up, dude. You could listen. You could open up SmackDown. What if Finn Balor is like in the shadows somewhere because he's about to do his transformation thing for that cheesy promo later on, and then Big E comes up to him, and they're like, "Hey, you don't even need to say anything. It's just like, hey, we got a mutual foe." And then they make their way, and it's like, oh, these guys are coming to wrap up some business. You know, Big E, he's got some business to take care of, et cetera, et cetera. But, like, it's just, oh, we got a championship contenders match. It's funny because you could do the same stuff, but, like, take the smallest steps to motivate it, and they just don't care about it. It's the most basic tenets of storytelling. It's crazy.
They don't do that.
Anyways, so they do. This sort of felt like a house show match. Big E and Finn hit coup de grace and big ending at the same time. After that, we've got Roman backstage.
To get the win.
To get the win. Sorry, yes, to get the win. Roman asked Paul Heyman if there's anything he needs to know. And Paul's like, look, I know what you're getting at. I had no idea Brock Lesnar was coming to Madison Square Garden. He was like, why would he make up this false narrative that I knew about him coming to SummerSlam? Brock is dealing for the first time ever with fear. He says, that's how I know he fears you, because of this false narrative he's creating. Roman says, he fears me. So is he going to show up at Extreme Rules? Paul Heyman's like, no. And Roman says, how do you know? And he says, well, if he fears you, he wouldn't dare show up. And he says, I don't pay. He says, I'm under the impression that if he fears you. And Roman says, I don't pay you to be under the impression. I pay you to know in advance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Next we had Rick Boogz taking on Robert Roode. As soon as this match was announced, he knew exactly who was going to win. And it was Rick Boogz.
Would you have known that this was going to happen in all of two?
Yeah, because all of Boogz matches are really short.
Did this go 2 minutes?
Maybe. Like, Roode got a little bit of offense in the beginning. He goes for a glorious DDT. Boogz escapes that, puts him on his shoulders, squats him, hits a Samoan drop, a couple exploder suplexes, a clothesline, a bulldog, pump handle slam to get the win. So then Boogz and Nakamura are rocking out and celebrating here at commentary. Commander Aziz comes in, blasts Nakamura with a kick. Aziz throws Boogz into the ring steps. Apollo Crews then rams Nakamura into the ring steps, and then he and Aziz toss Nakamura into the Apollo announce table as well. Apollo Crews grabs the mic, asks the crowd Is this Nakamura your king, or is he Nakamura your king? He says he's made a mockery of the Intercontinental title, and I am here to demand a rematch.
After that, we had a Kevin Owens interview. Should we just, so you know how you and I have had a little bit of difficulty making the transition, the switch from Daniel Bryan to Bryan Danielson. Should we just start referring to this man as Kevin Steen? Larson, it's happening. This dude, look, Kevin Steen can cut a promo in his sleep better than 90% of the people on the roster.
1,000%, yes.
This was a promo that he cut in his sleep because this was clearly just on the spot, saying what he thinks the script probably wanted him to say.
Or the bullet points.
Yeah. He said, I'm sick of happy Corbin. I'm mad. I'm furious. 2 weeks ago, Corbin came on my show, invited his idiot friend on, cheap shotted me. After all that, after I had tried to help him, even though I knew he was a piece of trash, but I'm going to use that as fuel to beat him down and turn his smile upside down. We're not going to have happy Corbin. We're going to have happy Kevin. Kevin Steen, ladies and gentlemen. This dude is on cruise control to AEW.
Perhaps. So that match was supposed to happen next. Kevin Owens versus Happy Corbin. Owens is making his way down the ring during his entrance. Corbin just lays him out, choke slams him on the apron. We don't get the match after all.
Match doesn't happen.
Doesn't happen.
Cruise control to AEW. Backstage, Kayla. Hey, Kayla. Surprises, accosts Paul Heyman. And he's like, ooh. And she says, hey, Paul, new rumor suggests Brock Lesnar might be heading to Raw in the draft. Is he aware of this? What a trolly question. And Paul's like, what's more laughable? You thinking you have sources? You don't have sources. Did they tell you? Did your sources tell you I'm still Brock Lesnar's advocate? What did he call her? A sapiosexual flirtation with him?
I have not heard that.
I think that means before. You love somebody exclusively for their mind.
Gotcha.
I think that's what that means. Somebody can maybe explain that or better in the chat. I don't know. He says, stop flirting with me. You keep poking me. Leave me alone. And he starts to leave. Big E is right behind him. He shows him the title, and Heyman says, you know what? Congratulations. He says, of all the people on Smackdown brand to become WWE champion, you are the one, and I applaud you because you realize you never would have successfully cashed in on your tribal chief, Roman Reigns. And Big E says, I guess we'll see when I face your boy at Survivor Series. But will your boy be Roman or Brock Lesnar? Or will it be Finn Balor? And then the Usos come in and attack Big E.
Yep. And then they stand over him, and then Roman just kind of walks by.
Yeah.
And then just walks off. Next, we have Seth Rollins in one of the most amazing suits I have ever seen. It was silver. It was metallic. He had shoes that matched. And he comes out right after the segment where Big E got beat up by the Usos. The first thing he says is like, oh, someone should help Big E out.
Yeah.
Like very earnest, it felt very earnest.
Yeah.
So he says on to more important things, and he goes on talk about his match against Edge last week, one of the best or the greatest matches of his career, how it felt stomping Edge to finish it. He says he heard a pop. He felt the crunch. He described it as like when you step on a cockroach, but you aren't sure exactly what you stepped on. You feel that crunch. There's going to be something lifeless, a lifeless body underneath. And he throws the video. The match comes back. He goes, yeah, I know it's difficult to watch. He says, I understand why the fans are booing, but I got a question to ask. The same question I've been asking myself all week. What did you think was going to happen? He calls it one of the greatest wins of his career, and he didn't get to enjoy it because when he walked backstage, everybody was getting him side eye. Everybody was judging him. People are on social media calling him a monster. And WWE said what he did went too far. He's like, I used a legal move in a legal match and used it in the same way I have for majority of my career to win matches. So really, how did I go too far? And he says Edge was one who went too far. He's a family man. He knew the risks, still got in the ring with them. But you know who's to blame? Take a guess, Steve.
The people, everybody
fans,
there.
yes.
He said, look to your left, look to your right, look in the mirror, and it's all you people.
Yeah. He says you're the ones that goaded Edge into goading me. He says now if I'm the monster, now that I am the monster, if the fans don't like that, You're not going to like this. I'm not done with you, Edge. I like that he brought up NXT. He said on NXT, Beth said that Edge was at home recuperating. So if he's at home, it means he's watching now. And so he says, Edge, you know what I'm capable of. Oh, sorry. If you're capable of getting back in the ring, hold on. Sorry, Seth asked Edge if he's capable of getting back in the ring, either physically or emotionally. He says, I saw the look in your eyes when they loaded you into the ambulance. It was a look of fear. And for 1 second, Seth says, I actually felt sorry for Edge. And that feeling has been eating me alive. And I can't live with myself feeling sorry for someone like Edge. I got to move on. And I can't do that until I finish Edge. I either beat the life out of you in front of your family, or Edge, you crawl back to this ring and we dance one more time. He says, for my own sanity, I have to finish Edge one way or the other. It was long, but it was all really good stuff.
Seth is doing career work right now.
Absolutely.
And it's sort of overshadowed because Roman's doing career work right now as well. And there are some cool things happening, Big E's champion. But like Seth is doing, his character work his performances are marvelous. Mm-hmm. Just marvelous. They are so good. And I feel like he's not getting the credit that he really deserves right now. And I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because he's on the same brand with Roman. That could be. And it's not like a title scene situation, but he is doing absolutely spectacular work right now.
Truly, he's doing awesome work.
After that, we had Toni Storm.
Oh, there's a Becky interview.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I didn't write anything down about this.
So she just says, she's asked about momentum. And she says, momentum is a tricky thing. It'll keep going until it meets an opposing force. And she says, Bianca had momentum until, her and I met at SummerSlam. She says, Extreme Rules went the same way, but tonight it's Bianca's night. It's her homecoming. And she just kind of says to herself, I've never been to a homecoming. I might have to check it out.
Ooh. After that, we had Toni Storm, Liv Morgan versus Carmela and Zelina Vega. Toni Storm is a throwback. Ooh, she's an 80s child. Wow. Like, was she born in like the 90s?
Yeah.
Her mom loved the 80s rock. So she does too. Hey, we're at 69 subs. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. So this match was very short, and it had a ridiculous ending. The only good that came out of it is that Liv Morgan and Carmela have a match at Extreme Rules. Mm-hmm. But like the finish, this frustrated me. Partially because it was just so short. It was like 2 minutes they were in there. So what happens is like Liv Morgan does the thing where she kind of like bends someone back and then boots them into the turnbuckle. Mm-hmm. She did that to Carmela, and Carmela went face first into the turnbuckle and started complaining that she broke her nose.
Yeah. And
she just walks out. And Zelina Vega, like, I still don't really understand why Zelina and Carmela are friends when they're going in that whole feud and lead up to Sasha's match against Bianca. Like, they were fighting with each other the whole time.
Yeah.
And now suddenly they're on the same page. I don't get it. Anyways, so Carmela gets counted out. Zelina's like totally fine with it. It's just frustrating. Like, they got to do better with this. This is, from a creative standpoint, it's not good.
It's terrible.
It's not
actually terrible. It's terrible. It's the thinnest, weakest, like thrown together at the last second. Like
it's just so bad.
A child could come up with better stuff than this. It's just it's so bad.
It's so bad. So Liv gets on the mic and she apologizes very sarcastically for breaking Carmela's nose. She says, "Actually, I'm not sorry at all. I'm tired of Carmela running her mouth and running away." Says, "I challenge you to match Extreme Rules, but if you accept, I'm gonna make you look as hideous on the outside as you do on the inside." Mm-hmm. And before we hear whether Carmela accepts or not, we get a Street Profits promo. They're hyping up Bianca returning home to Knoxville. The celebration tonight. Celebration comes food. Dawkins is talking about how they're hungry for the tag titles. And Ford says, yep, the Usos are about to lose those tag championships. We get to hear Carmela's answer. So they're back in the trainer's room. Carmela, Zelina, Adam Pearce, and Sonya Deville. So we open the thing and Vega's like, yeah, your nose is fine. You're totally fine. Mm-hmm. And then Carmela says, yeah, I'll accept Liv's challenge. And then Zelina says, yeah, but Liv has to go through me first.
Yeah, like she's, 0-3 or something? 0-4?
Maybe more than that. She hasn't won a match, I think, since she's been back on SmackDown.
Then we had Finn Balor.
That was so frustrating.
The third iteration of What the Demon Is.
It's a third origin story. Yeah.
It's his third origin story. Yeah, we had the Demon King. But what was it before? Yeah, it was based on like lore. Yeah. That was, and then he had another one in NXT when he returned, and then he's got this one here. And he said, everyone wants to know where the demon came from. Well, all I have to do is watch old episodes of WWE. He says, I wasn't born into a bloodline. I was born into a family of railroad workers. But I clawed and scratched, and here I am. The demon comes from the inside. The demon is everyone who disrespected me. It unlocks a rage in me that can't be controlled. Yeah. He says, I don't summon the demon, dummy. The demon summons me. I'm getting my voices mixed up here. He says, the bloodline's disrespect adds fuel to the fire. The fire inside me burns hotter than the fires around me. You're looking at Finn Balor, the challenger. At Extreme Rules, you'll see the face of the demon, the next Universal Champion, and then they do this really cheesy where he's like the demon. And Pat McAfee's like, whoa, did you see that? Like, Pat McAfee, like, flips his lid, and Cole says, yeah, you could be looking at the face of the new Universal Champion. It's like, did you not see that, Cole? Like, in kayfabe, shouldn't you be really freaked out? You just saw a man transform into demon with a really cheap visual.
After that, they announced that New Day versus the Bloodline's happening, not a Survivor Series, but at Raw. So this next bit was really great. So Sonya's on the phone backstage. Naomi walks up to her and says, all right, get off the phone, Sonya. Says, I've been patient. I've been waiting. When is my match? And Sonya again says, oh, sorry, been busy. Come back next week. And Naomi's like, no. I'm two-time, I believe, Smackdown was champion. I've been here longer than you have. I deserve to be here. I'm not going to quit. One way or another, I'm getting my match. Mm-hmm. And she's right up in Sonya's face.
She backs her down up against like whatever the road case stuff was.
Yeah.
I really like this from Naomi. I thought this was good. Do you think this is going to get Sonya back in the ring?
It could.
I think a really good feud between Naomi and Sonya with some long matches that actually mean something and some twists and turns in the story, resulting in Naomi joining the Bloodline. I think that'd be great.
Would be great. They announced during the next match between Dominic Mysterio and Sami Zayn that Naomi had been fined due to her actions in the previous segment.
Yeah, bullying is not acceptable, apparently.
Insubordination, I believe, was the offense.
Right. Let's see. After that, we had Sami Zayn versus Dominic Mysterio. I was getting some tacos during this. I didn't really worry about it because I've seen this match already, Larson, but what was the finish?
So Ray comes and joins commentary during the match, but he spends just as much time yelling instructions to Dom as he does commenting on the match.
What the hell?
And so Dom's doing. He gets, Sammy has the advantage for a bit, but eventually Dom gets some offense in after he trips up Sammy when he's on the ropes. So Sammy gets crushed over the top rope. He gets a bunch of offense in. Dom counters a Blue Thunder Bomb into a head scissors. It looks great.
Ooh, nice.
He hits a Tornado DDT, gets a 2. And so Dom drop kicks Sammy into the ropes. He hits a 619. And so Ray's yelling at him, go to the top, go to the top, go to the top. So Dom's going to the top. He's taking some offense, so he's not moving as quickly as maybe he normally would. And Ray's yelling at him, go faster. You have to go faster. Get up there. Do it. Go faster. So Dom goes for the frog splash. Sammy gets his knees up and then rolls up Dom for the win. And Ray's upset again. And it's like, this is a situation where I feel like Dom was moving probably just about as quickly as he could. It wasn't like he was like really moving slowly.
Yeah.
He was just getting up there.
Dom should have turned on Ray at SummerSlam.
Uh-huh.
Like, they're just dragging this out way too long. You think they're getting cold feet about turning Dom? They're not into maybe they'll split them. How boring would that be if they're just split up at the draft?
Oh.
Wouldn't that be so boring? Because they probably, for whatever reason, want to keep Dom face.
The worst thing, turn Dom heel and then split them up at the draft, like we saw with Heavy Machinery, where they turned Tucker heel on Otis, split him up at the draft. So there's no resolution to it whatsoever.
Now, here's what you do. This is the worst thing. Turn Dom heel a week before the draft, split him up at the draft. There's no resolution. When he shows up on Raw, he's back to face Dom.
Okay, that would be worse.
And here's the thing. That's most likely.
Yeah.
That is the most likely situation.
Yeah.
After that, there was a really lovely Bianca Belair returns home video package. She goes to her school, her hometown, et cetera, et cetera. It's really good stuff. Failing Mayor Glenn Jacobs comes out. Of course, Kane, known as Kane in the WWE. Bianca says, Becky might have caught me at SummerSlam, but I've always clawed back to the top. So at Extreme Rules, I'm going to take back my title. Kane says, okay, so here's the deal. After you win back your championship at Extreme Rules, come back. We'll have a huge celebration in your honor. But speaking of honors, it is my honor to present you with the key to our county, to Knox County. And Becky Lynch then comes out and says, Kane lied to you. You're not going to be champion after Extreme Rules, but you can be the champion of these people. You can be Knox County champion. And Bianca says, you're standing here, but you don't even go here. And the crowd starts chanting along, you don't go here, you don't go here. And Becky says, SummerSlam was my night. Extreme Rules is going to be my night, but tonight is your night. I came to show you respect. You got all these little girls and boys that look up to you. I'm trying to shake you, and I want to shake your hand. I'm giving you respect. And she's like, come on. Bianca's hesitant, obviously, because, she don't want to be sucker punched again. But Bianca, on guard, she does. But then Becky tries to let go and walk away, and she doesn't let go. And so Becky tries to attack Bianca. Why does it say here in my notes Becky tries to hit she tries to hit Bianca. No, Bianca tries to hit a KOD. Becky gets out of that, hits a manhandle.
Yeah. So Becky takes a swing after Bianca won't let go of the grip from the handshake. Becky takes a swing. Yeah, Bianca ducks, goes for KOD. Yeah.
Oh man, Thunder Rosa was at GCW tonight. I could have been there. I could have been there. I was looking forward to that, but you know what, man? Safety comes first, man. I can't be in a room full of screaming people.
Nope.
Anyways, let's go ahead and answer some questions.
Sure.
She was in the crowd in makeup. That is hilarious. That's great. Let's see here.
Man, so many gifted subs. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. That was so nice. Once we're done with the questions and we'll see if we can get through a bunch of these.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. First up, I got a thread up here on the Patreon, and David Matushek says, do you think the law of diminishing returns may be setting in on Roman Reigns' title reign? No law. I don't know what that. I don't know.
I think it's been pretty good.
I think it's been pretty good. I don't know what that means. Anthony R says, "Is the Tony Storm Wild Child '80s gimmick getting over with you guys?" Given that Cole just said it tonight, it doesn't mean shit. It doesn't mean anything. What are they gonna do? License some Motley Crue? What are they? Yeah, they're not gonna do any of that.
No.
So it doesn't mean anything. It's not even. No. It's not even a gimmick.
Kylie Jester, do you think Seth moving to Raw would be better for him? No. I mean, I appreciate this is actually a situation where they are kind of taking the scenic route to the eventual Roman Seth feud, because prior to his match against Edge, Seth was like, I'm going for the Universal title. It's time for me to do that now. And now he's kind of getting sidetracked with his Edge stuff. And once that story is through, I'm sure he will come back around to wanting to have a match against Roman.
Feels like Seth versus Roman at the Royal Rumble might be the thing, right? I mean, because you got Big E at Survivor Series. You got Crown Royal with Brock. You got Finn up next. After that, December, who knows? But January.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. White Brownie, even though NXT isn't involved with the draft, which man and woman would you like to see get drafted to main?
I get NXT? The feeling it's going to be a bit different. I get the feeling there's got to be a couple people that get drafted up. They got to unload some of these 1.0.
LA Knight's probably
yeah. What number is he going to? He's going to be like, is he going to be announced on Twitter or on TV?
Twitter.
Oh.
Which I think from the women's division.
Foretold Legend. You go ahead and think about that. Foretold Legend says, do you think at Crown Royal that Heyman will betray Roman, costing him and crowning Lesnar as the Universal Champion? No, I don't think Crown Royal is like it's like sort of kayfabe, or sort of canon. It's mostly canon, but it's like, do they, I guess they do kind of mention the greatest Royal Rumble sometimes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if they're going to mention that because didn't Daniel Bryan have like a huge performance of the Greatest Royal? It's like Daniel Bryan and Braun Strowman were the
No,
two
they
big
did. They
names
did.
there.
They mentioned the subsequent Royal Rumbles. They would mention that the longest anybody's ever been in the Rumble was Daniel Bryan at the Greatest Royal Rumble.
Yeah, but now? That's
Well,
what I'm asking.
That has nothing to do with whether Greatest Royal Rumble is canon or not. It has more to do with Daniel Bryan not being in the company anymore.
I know, but you know how they can selectively decide what's canon and what's not canon. Like up till this point, yeah, it's been canon, but like come next Royal Rumble, if they want to talk about who's had the longest time in a Royal Rumble, Greatest Royal Rumble is not going to matter. It's not going to count anymore.
Oh, probably not. Yeah, for that reason. Yeah. Let's see.
Zoe Canrana says that line about Tony being a big fan of 80s music gave me a flashback to Alistair fighting for the blue collar worker. It's just vomit that they spit out. Just absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense that doesn't mean anything. It's hilarious.
Yeah. John Elite, when Roman beats Finn and Brock at Extreme Rules and Crown Royal respectively, who's next to try and take the title from him? So let's try to book it out. So if they do champ versus champ, neither title will be on the line, but it'll be Big E versus Roman.
Yeah.
And then December,
that's
probably TLC.
I wonder if they'll do this. What if they do this? So we got Bloodline versus Usos coming up next week on Raw, right?
Yeah.
If you do Big E versus Roman, but you wonk the finish, you could revisit Bloodline versus Usos at the December pay-per-view, and that'll be done with. You have Seth in December. Seth at the Rumble.
The Rumble.
And then for Mania, Drew.
Maybe.
Is Drew a big enough name for Mania? Goldberg? Goldberg at Mania? Goldberg versus Roman would be a huge match.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it.
I don't want to see it. Like I said, there's only one, maybe two matches I want to see Goldberg have. And
what
that's
about
against Big E and maybe Matt Riddle?
What if instead of Drew going over to SmackDown, what if it's Bobby that goes to SmackDown? Bobby versus Roman? Yeah, Lashley. That's what I meant.
Maddie Daddy, do you think AEW is going to let Archer Suzuki versus Mox Kingston get bloody and extremely violent in their lights out match? Is it a lights out match?
I didn't know it was a lights out match, but oh my goodness, yes, absolutely, 100,000%, yes, $1,000,000%. It's going to be nasty bloody. Cold Snacks, I noticed you gifted a bunch of subs earlier. Thank you so much. We'll end on this question. So how long does Big E retain for?
I hope at least through Mania. I hope he gets to hold the belt through WrestleMania. I hope he gets to successfully retain at Mania.
Same. I agree. Okay, we'll answer some more of these questions and shout out our new subs in a few moments. But for the podcast, thank you everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. Hopefully you'll join us tomorrow on the Twitch for Impact Victory Road. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.